जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन जी की जय। गौरंगी बेंगलोर ईश्वर की जय। नरसिम्हा लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। शालिग्राम जी की जय। गौरताई की जय। छठ गोस्वामी की जय और गुरु परंपरा की जय। And we do our prayers. Om Jnana Tirmandasya Jnananjaya Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Namobi Satam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swarupam Kadamayam Datati Swapadikam. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश्वर गोपीकांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are going to do start chapter 2, which is as contents of the Gita summarized. So before we go into the shloka, let's view the situation first. Arjuna knew who he was facing on the war field. He asked Krishna to draw the chariot in the middle of the battlefield so that he could get a bird's eye view of his opponent. What he saw: friends, grandfather, teachers, kingmen. Arjuna developed cold feet. We've all experienced the same in our journey. Exam time, wedding times, so many situations when you want to do something and you withdraw from it. Any thoughts? Anybody wants to share any experience? Hare Krishna, anybody?
Before exam, we feel like giving, don't going to the exam like that. I used to feel in
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Like you all are prepared for the exams and still like right now I'm prepared to give the class, but I'm still feeling so nervous. I don't want to do it. And then my Prabhu says, okay, why kaise bhi karo. So like your parents, like like your parents then tell you you are prepared already. Why aren't you giving? You have to give the exams. It is very necessary. So we all have gone through similar situations, like either in relation or in exam times, even at wedding time. Like it could be any sort of you don't want to get into that. I know there's so many situations, and this is exactly what Arjuna was feeling. And now there is a flowing link between chapter 1 and chapter 2. How did the first chapter end? It ended with the decisive mood of Arjuna. Arjuna sat down on the chariot, keeping his Gandiva bow and arrow aside, a strong indication that he will not fight. And this Sanjay is relating to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra Maharaj, hearing that this is very joyful, jumps, leaps, and bounds. Wishful thinking, the Pandavas will now renounce the kingdom. No war, and my son's victory is celebrated. My son crowned king. Dhritarashtra shows sign of victory and gleam. Sanjay wanted to dissipate all illusion Dhritarashtra was in and starts speaking this particular verse, and he relates all the talk between Arjuna and Krishna. How Krishna inspires Arjuna by his philosophical, transcendental, practical words. So, this chapter actually summarizes the Bhagavad Gita and helps us to understand various concepts of day to day life. Vital points described: analytic studies between the soul and the body, jnana or sankhya. A very strong truth: working with and without attachment to the results of our work, sakama and nishkama karma. And an end of the chapter, characteristics of a person who is fixed in the conception of real self, real realization. Sitaha pragya. Chapter 2 is entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Some Sankhya Yoga, analytic knowledge. Sanjaya Uvacha. This is the first verse. We are doing the verse number 1 and 2 today. Sanjaya Uvacha tam tataha kripaya vastam arshu purnakulesanam visidantam idam vakyam uchvaha madhusudanaha. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. So Sanjay is speaking, Madhusudana. Madhusudana starts speaking. Speaking tam tataha to Arjuna. Idyam vakyam. What is the state of Arjuna? A depressed, beaten up, shattered, drained, torn apart, lamenting, concerned, bottled up with the thoughts of fighting with his extended family, friends, guru, great grandparents, eyes filled with tears. Arshu Purnakulesanam, a Kshatriya's eyes filled with tears. Just imagine, just let your horses gallop. Tears of concern for nears and dear ones. Kripa Vitkam, Arjuna was lamenting, drowned, overcome by compassion. This was the state of Arjuna. And to help Arjuna for the first time, Madhusudana starts speaking. Why Madhusudana? Madhu, name of a demon. Krishna kills that demon. Hence, Madhusudana. Sanjay speaks. A demon called doubt or fickleness, misunderstanding has arisen in the mind of Arjuna. And Madhusudana, the way he killed the demon, he will dissipate the demon of misunderstanding in Arjuna's mind. Madhu means sweet. So, Krishna will eliminate all the confusion of his friend Arjuna. How has this delusion overcome you in this hour of peril? It is not befitting an honorable person. It leads not to higher abodes but to disgrace. Sentiments of compassion is of two kinds: compassion, pity at the body platform, and compassion at the platform of soul. You see a person in pain and you feel pity. You remember Bharat Maharaj and the new motherless born deer? How can I reduce it? That is a kind of compassion we material souls feel. Or if one who falls from the Varnashram system will have no means of avoiding sinful activities, nor will such a person receive any credit for performing sacrifices. And thus, he will gradually sink down into the lower and lower species of life in a hellish condition. But the kind of compassion the God realized saints feel is not for the body. Another example, Jada Bharata and King Raghugan. Because relieving bodily pain may sometimes be harmful. Your child is crying, and he goes on, and I'm feeling hungry. The mother says, your stomach is upset. You should not have anything. The mother seems to be very cruel. He's crying in pain. Let me give him some milk to drink. His situation will only deteriorate. Material compassion, lamenting, tears, and are all signs of ignorance of the self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self realization. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of neuroscience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man. And for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self realization by an analytic study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in a fixed conception of real self. Dhritarashtra had ghastly desires. He, Arjuna, is my enemy. Let him die. Due to the mode of compassion, waves of lust overcame the conditional soul, who then becomes furious as a snake. Such a person, filled with pride and arrogance, cannot appreciate the lamenting concerning position of Arjuna. The conditioned soul becomes completely bound in affection of their own corpse like material body and their relatives and paraphernalia. In such a proud and foolish condition, the conditional soul envies other living entities as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who resides in the heart of all beings. Arjuna's mind is completely baffled, disturbed. He is not ready to fight. And to clean the Chetodarpan mind, Krishna speaks for the first time. A Kshatriya has no other business than to fight on the battlefield. He cannot flee. In Ramayana, we have Jatayu, a 60,000 year old bird, a Kshatriya bird. He fought tooth and nail with a young, strong Ravana when he heard the cries of Sitama for help. He knew that he could not defeat Ravana. Still, he fought and laid down his life. This is a Kshatriya. So, the second shloka.
No audio, Mataji.
Oh, sorry, Mataji. I'm reading the second verse. Shri Bhagwanu Vacha Kutastvam Kashalam Idam Vishme Samupashitam Anarya Jastam Aswargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. O Arjuna, Kutastam Kashalam Idam, where have these impurities come upon you? And then continues, Vishme Sammu Pashitam, that at that too at this hour of crisis. Then he gives three important points. Anarya Jastam, not at all befitting a person who knows the value of life. It's prohibited. Liberation. Next, he says, Ashwaragam, your behavior is prohibited, the higher planets. Swarga. Akirtik Akaram, prohibiting liberation. Then Swarga. Next slide. You incur infamy. So, this was the discussion between Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. My Guru Maharaj says, externally, someone may be born in some body, but by chanting the holy names and by practicing bhakti yoga, the subtle bodies change. They are no longer the material things, but they are Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hearing Krishna's dialogue is not ordinary hearing. This question to Krishna, Prashnam, question and answers, explanation from Krishna is it's Atma with Samataha, transcendental, approval of self-realized, of self-realized. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eye was brimming with tears. Madhusudana, Krishna, for the first time spoke the following words. My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive value of life. Arjuna was sympathetic with his brothers and relatives, and he was practically crying. Krishna said, This is non-Aryan. It is not befitting for an Aryan. Just imagine, Arjuna is at an epitome of compassion, but still it is not approved by Krishna. That is the qualification of the supreme personality of Godhead. Rajada api kathora, kusumad api kamala. So Krishna is not lenient to his friend or to his devotees because that leniency will not help him. Sometimes he appears to be very hard for the devotees, but he is not hard. Just like a father sometimes becomes very strict, that is good. That will be proved how Krishna's hardness will prove his salvation. At the end, Arjuna will admit, by your mercy, my illusion is now over. So, this sort of strictness from Krishna on the devotees is sometimes misunderstood, as we are always accustomed to accept what is immediately very pleasing. We should stick to Krishna. That is Arjuna's position. The ground to speak the Bhagavad Gita is laid. Oh, Krishna. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanama advayam brahmeti parmam prameti bhagwan iti shabdaya. The absolute truth is both subject and object, and there is no qualitative difference there. Therefore, Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagwan are qualitatively one and the same. The same substance is realized as personal Brahman, but by the students of the Upanishads, as localized Paramatma by the Hiranyagarbhas or the yogis, and as Bhagwan by the devotees. In other words, Bhagwan or the personality of Godhead is the last word of the absolute truth. Paramatma is the partial representation of the personality of Godhead, and impersonal Brahman is the glowing effulgence of the personality of Godhead, as sun rays are to the sun god. Less intelligent students of either of the above schools sometimes argue in favor of their own representative realization. But those who are perfect seers of the absolute truth know well that the above three features of the one absolute truth are different perceptive views seen from different angles of vision. The absolute truth, personality of Godhead, is the chief among all living personalities. He is an individual, as are the other living beings. But the Supreme Lord or the Supreme Living Being has the greatest intelligence, and he possesses supermost inconceivable energy of different varieties. If a man's brain can produce a space satellite, one can easily imagine how brains higher than the man can produce similarly wonderful things which are far superior. The reasonable person will easily accept this argument, but there are stubborn atheists who will never agree. Srila Vyasadeva, however, at once accepts the supreme intelligence and the Parmeshwara. He offers his respectful obeisances unto the supreme intelligence addressed as Para or Parmeshwara or the supreme personality of Godhead. And the Parmeshwara is Sri Krishna, as admitted in the Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures delivered by Sri Vyasadeva, and specifically in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, there is no other para tattva samanbhovanam than himself. Therefore, Sri Vyasadeva at once worships the para tattva, Sri Krishna. So this was Vyasadeva is writing. Of course, he's speaking through Sanjaya. Now I will read some, you know, extracts from Srila Prabhupada's lecture. So you could. So in this verse, Prabhupada is writing. Of course, he's speaking through Sanjaya, but the original writer is Vyasadeva. In other shloka, he writes Arjuna Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha, like that. Similarly, he could have written here Krishna Uvacha. He could have written Hari Vacha. No, he's writing Bhagwana Uvacha. So Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. By this writing, it is established Sri Bhagwana Uvacha. He cannot be equal with Arjuna or Sanjay or anybody else. Ashama Urdhava Bhagwan, the supreme personality of Godhead, is supreme. Nobody is equal to him. Nobody is higher to him. Everybody is lower. That is the meaning of Bhagwan. As Bhagwan, Krishna cannot be mistaken. Similarly, Vyasadeva, incarnation of Bhagwan, he also cannot be mistaken. Neither devotees of Krishna can be mistaken. Devotees of Krishna, he does not say anything as his own opinion. He never says what he never says. What Krishna says, he says. He may not be perfect, but what Krishna has said, that is perfect. So, Yah Bhagwan Uvacha. Vyasadev does not say that Krishna Uvacha. If he would have said Krishna, then people would have misunderstood. He is directly speaking Bhagwana Uvacha, the supreme personality of Godhead. So anyone who is impersonalist, how can he understand Bhagavad Gita? Bhagwan means person. Bhagwan is not impersonal. The absolute truth is manifested in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. Brahman is the beginning, impersonal. Sarva Kalvam, Ibadam Brahmam. Because just like fire is burning somewhere, but its heat and light is impersonal. Suppose here is a big fire, just like we got fireplace. This is one, it is in one corner, but the whole room you are feeling heat. The heat is impersonal. But the fireplace where there is a blazing fire, that is personal. So the impersonal conception is the offshoot of the person. That will be explained in the 13th chapter. Maya Tatam Idam Sharvam. Krishna says that everywhere, I am everyone, everywhere I am spread. I exist everywhere. How how does he exist? By his energy. That energy is impersonal. But the Supreme God, he is not impersonal. He is person. Therefore, it is said, Shri Bhagwana Uvacha. Bhagwan means one who is full with six kinds of opulence. Aishwarya, the richest, the most famous, the most learned, the most beautiful, the most strong, and the most renounced. He is Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is the ultimate understanding of the absolute truth. Just like when you feel temperature, just like we feel temperature from sunshine, heat and light. The sun is giving heat and light. Everyone, we can enjoy heat and light. But if you trace from where the heat and light is coming, then you go to the sun planet. Then that is localized. That is not impersonal. And again, if you enter into the sun planet, then you will see the sun god Vivish Savana. So we should not conclude final simply by heat and light. So Brahman understanding, impersonal understanding of the absolute truth is imperfect understanding, partial understanding. It is not full understanding. Full understanding is Bhagwan. Therefore, it is stated here, Shri Bhagwana Uvacha, there cannot be any mistake. That is final. So Bhagwan is criticizing Arjun. From material point of view, people will much appreciate. Oh, here is Arjun. He's so nice, non-violent. He's foregoing his claim. Has given up his astra, bows and arrow. He's no longer fighting. He has decided not to fight with kinsmen. Kill his own men. So, from material point of view, Arjuna is supposed to be a very, very good man. but the Supreme Person, Krishna, what does he say? Anarya Justam. He posed himself to be a good man, but when he comes to the test of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he refuses to accept him as a good man. He's saying that you are Anarya. There are two kinds of men, Anarya and Arya. Arya, Arya means advanced in knowledge. He is called Arya. And Anarya means uncivilized. So immediately he rebukes him. Anarya Justim. You're talking like a non-Aryan, uncivilized person. He's trying to convince Arjuna. A war means, according to Vedic civilization, that is dharma yudh, religious fight. When the actual need there is to fight, we must fight. Not that when there is a need of fight, one becomes non-violent. There is a talk between Srila Prabhupada and Dr. Shoemaker. So they were supporting non-violence. Why should you kill any animal who comes to attack? If you are determined not to kill, then Prabhupada said, we are talking of not killing. That, why should you kill one animal who's coming to attack? No, you must kill. That is necessary. You should not go to the forest to find out some living entities to kill. That is not your business. That is himsa. But if a tiger comes to attack you, you must kill. That is self defense. And that is not himsa. So a devotee knows, a Krishna conscious person knows when to kill and when not to kill. But it is not that, that because we accept not killing, therefore, in every case, killing should be stopped. No, if there is necessity, killing should be accepted. Therefore, Arjuna decides not to kill, not to fight. And Krishna says, this is anarya justam. This kind of decision is made by uncivilized rascals, anarya justam. Aswargam akirti karam. So many things he says, aswargaram, because the aim of human life should be to make progress. That is called Arya, progressive march. Now we have got a human form of body, progressing from the lowest species of life, progressing from the lowest species of life in aquatic, then in trees, plants, insects, birds, beasts, 84 lakh. Now I have got the civilized body form. Then my endeavor should be how to make further progress. Anarya means one who does not know what is progress of life. They, they think there is no life after death. So I have got this life now. Let me enjoy my senses to the best capacity. This is Anarya, demon. Eat, drink, and be merry and enjoy. Because as soon as the body will be finished, the senses will also be finished. Now let me use the senses. So Anarya, they do not know that there is life after death. The Aryan theory is that what is next life? What is next life? Progressive. That is Arya, civilized man. But you are belonging to the Aryan family, Pandava family, a Kirti Karma, you are celebrated as Krishna's friend. So people will say that Krishna's friend is not fighting. Therefore, a Kirti Karma, reputation, deformation, it is. Don't do that. And then he says, Kutastam kashalam idam vishme samu pashitam. And in this, at this time of danger, there is fighting and you have to fight. And Vishme, at this time of danger, you are so much bewildered that you give up your weapons down, and now you promise that, no, I shall not fight. So immediately Arjuna was condemned. So immediately Krishna very strongly criticizes him. You are talking just like an Anarya, not civilized men. Krishna will still, he has not used very strong words. He has simply mildly rebuked. He's doing to Krishna that you are not talking like an intelligent man or advanced in civilization. You are talking like an uncivilized Anarya Justam. So these things are there in the Bhagavad Gita. we may be very much puffed up by our mental concoction that I'm doing very nice work, but it may not be accepted by God. It may not be accepted by Krishna. You may concoct, and naturally, one who is not guided by Krishna, one who is not guided by Krishna's representative, he is fool. He must be misguided. He must be misguided. Anarya, Anarya, Anarya. Yes. Therefore, we have to take shelter of Krishna through his representatives so that we may become Arya, Arya, Arya. Aryan civilization means guided by the supreme personality of Godhead, Vedic culture. That is called Arya, civilized civilization, Vedic culture. So it was the duty of the Kshatriya to fight. Therefore, Krishna is condemning his behavior. That this is not befitting a Kshatriya. By his actions, you will be defamed. Akirti karma Arjuna. You are such a nice fighter, soldier. And if you cease to fight, then the other party will defame you in so many ways. What you are thinking of, especially you are my friend. I'm standing here despite my becoming your charioteer driver. If you decline to fight, certainly it will create havoc. Don't do this. Therefore, he says, Anarya Jastam Aswargam. Ashwargam means you cannot be promoted to the heavenly planets. It is said that a Kshatriya who dies in fight is immediately promoted to the heavenly planets. But because he is dying for the good cause, therefore he is promoted. Asveragam, akirtikaram, it is defamation on the part. So, Galibam, Kalibam Maha Sma Gama Partha Naitaha Twai Upadate Shudram Gridaya Durlabam Twaki Voti Shittaha Paranatapa. Enemies, aggressors, they should be killed. Not there is no atatai. Atatai means one who is an aggressor, one who kidnaps one's wife, one who has taken away by force one's wealth, one who has set fire in one's house. They are called aggressors. So aggressors should be killed. Aggressors should be given trouble. So Krishna does not teach unnecessary non-violence. If Kshatriya becomes non-violent, then the whole state will be in chaos. They must learn how to kill any criminals. He should be immediately killed. So now we have state, there is state Kabir, Saint Kabir says, all the wealth and youth will disappear in no time, just like camphor disappears instantly. O mind, sincerely chant the glories of Lord Govinda. Why are you licking the dirt of senses, enjoyment in the material world? So let's all begin and we hearing and chanting. Let's all unmute and chant 3 times the glorious name of the Lord. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Thank you,
Rama
Ji, Prabhuji,
Rama.
and Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to learn and to share. Thank you, Sri Hari Prabhu, Anand
Hare Krishna,
Rupa Prabhu.
Mataji.
Thank you, Hari
Uh,
Krishna.
Fantastic class. Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's all Prabhupada's and Guru's mercy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Guru
Mataji.
Hari Krishna.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Mata.
thank you,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank
Thank you
you.
for the
Hare Krishna
amazing class, Mataji. Very good.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna,
It made it so
Thank you,
clear,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you,
thank you,
Krishna.
Hari
Dandavat
Krishna.
thank you
Pranam.
so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for fantastic class.
Thank you, thank you, Guru Maharaj's mercy. Like it's only his blessing. Thank you for the opportunity because I learn and share. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very
Dandavat
much.
pranams to everybody.
Thank you.
Very nice class, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mata. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mata. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Okay, devotees, we'll stop here. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.